Hello, my lovelies. I'm Eleanor Rose, and today I want to talk to you about something that I know we all experience. How long has it been since the last time you looked at your email inbox or your messages on Facebook or Model Mayhem and wanted to crawl into a hole and hope that ignoring it would make them all go away? Chances are not very long, right? This is something that I really struggled with in my modeling business until I was able to get a handle on it a few years ago. And since these messages are a huge part of how we book work, in fact, they are how we book work, it's imperative that we're able to go through and answer them. So, would you like to know how you can get a better handle on your inbox? I thought so. Okay, so here's what I did. First step, how many of those emails that you're getting are actually important? How many of them do you actually read? Because if you're anything like the rest of humanity, you're probably on a lot of newsletter lists for clothing companies, for that business advice you really thought you could use but you just never read, for, your cousin's jewelry line that is beautiful and you really want to support them but you just delete the emails every time they come in. Well, here's something you should probably know. They can tell how many people open the emails and how many delete them, so you're probably better unsubscribing if you just delete them every time. But here's the thing. Only keep the subscriptions that have value for you. Because as much as you might think, oh, well, it's not a big deal, I just go through and delete them, how much stress would it take off your shoulders if every morning when you opened your email inbox, half of the bulk that you usually encounter just wasn't there? Right? That's pretty appealing. Because even if you just go through and delete them, even if it's just a minute or two to go check all those emails and mass delete them, it still causes that mental baggage. It still causes that initial reaction of, oh my God, I have so much email, how will I handle this? I recommend keeping only 3 to 5 newsletters that really add value for you, that you actually open, actually enjoy. Now, something to consider here. That subscription to Kohl's or to, say, Louboutins, maybe you open it and enjoy it. I sure loved looking at those pretty shoes. But at the end of the day, I never bought any, and I only ever felt a little pang of, someday, I wish I could do this right now, but I can't. And it was always this knowledge that when I get around to finally buying myself a pair of Louboutins, that line isn't going to be available anymore. So eventually I started to wonder, even if I am opening these, even if I am enjoying it, it's a waste of time, and it just makes me feel bad about the fact that I can't currently shell out $20,000 for a pair of shoes. We don't need that. So really only keep the emails that actually add value. If there's a site you buy from regularly and you love getting emails about their sales and you actually click the links and go look at them, great, that's giving you value. But if it's just pretty clothes that you like to look at but never buy, isn't your time better spent elsewhere? For me, at least, that's certainly the case. So I got rid of all of that. I got rid of my Julep subscription. I got rid of my Kohl's newsletter. Everything I'd signed up to over the years to get a discount, White House Black Market, everything no matter how pretty they are or how good the sales are sending, if you're not actually using that, it's a waste of time and it's a waste of resources and energy. So go through and be very, very critical. And if you're on the fence, think about it. Am I better off getting this, or would I love the way my inbox looks without it? This really applies to everybody, and I know I haven't even hit on how to handle the bulk of modeling related messages, but this is a crucial first step, and I urge you not to skip it because it really will change the way you look at your inbox when you get on and it's only pertinent emails that are looking at you back. Okay, so please do that first. Now, once you've gotten it down to the things that are pertinent, I have a few big recommendations. I mentioned in my last video that I recommend that people set up the feature on Model Mayhem that allows them to read the Model Mayhem messages that they're sent in their email, that has the text in the notification email. That will allow you to only actually open that message on Model Mayhem when you're ready to respond to it. And since many photographers don't like to see that we've read but not responded, because apparently we're not capable of reading messages in the 30 seconds we're on the toilet during a shoot, that's our break. Sorry, mini rant, but seriously, when you've got that 30 seconds and you want to check the messages so that you know what to respond to when you're off your shoot or tomorrow when you have 2 hours for computer work, it's better to read it in your email than have people get upset that you didn't respond immediately. Because, as we all know, responses take more time than reading what we've been sent. So, that's a really great way to reduce overwhelm, and that way when you log on to Model Mayhem, you can see immediately what you haven't read and what you need to respond to. Messages don't get lost because they're not highlighted as unread. That will really, really help you. Moving on, a few key tips. 1, create folders. This is crucial. And be specific. Have a folder for fan mail. Have a folder for discussions with friends. Have a folder for interviews that you've been sent. Have a folder for every area you plan to travel to or have received an inquiry about. I have folders for every state, and in big states like California, I have a folder for Northern California, Central California, and Southern California. And for my local area, that Northern California, that is split into trade work and paid work. Have a folder for discussions with designers if you work with designers to work with clothing. Split it up in any way that works for you, but have detailed folders so that when you need an old email, you don't just have to search for it blindly. You know that it's probably in a specific folder. It narrows down that search and saves you time. And moving everything over into folders means that there's less clutter when you open your inbox. It is really, really satisfying to open my inbox and only have 20 emails in the inbox section because everything from the past has been foldered. That feels so good. And then, once you've sorted those 20 to have an empty inbox, you're going to feel like you can do anything. It's a long process, but it's worth it. And you'll probably find potential gigs from old photographers you've worked with who wanted to hire you again, but you both forgot, as you do that sorting. Short term, my biggest advice is only read email, other than Model Mayhem messages, when you have time to reply to it. So what I usually do is if I don't have much time, I go through and read the Model Mayhem messages because I know that they're still going to be marked as unread on Model Mayhem. And that way I know Model Mayhem messages are work offers. So if somebody's offering me work for tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm not going to miss it by waiting until I have time to answer all my emails. But the rest of them, I wait, and I only open emails that I have time to answer. If it's something that I actually do have to think about, use that handy little star feature. Star that email so that you know, even though it's been read, you need to go back and answer it. There's lots of things you can do to create organization and help yourself handle emails. There's lots you can do. And I know that it gets trickier when you get into Facebook because there is no folder function. But just go through and answer one at a time. One at a time, and if you read it, you answer it. It helps a lot. Additionally, just a quick reminder that if people are just sending hi, 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 hi over and over again, it's good to interact with your fans, but if all they're sending is repeated highs or you're sexy, you're hot, you don't owe them your time. If you don't have time to handle that, don't handle it. Move on to the next email. Your work, your income is more important. And the fans who actually value and respect you will send more than a hi. I promise that. So, a lot of information in this one. If you need to rewatch it, I won't judge. But just remember, above all, take care of yourself. Organization helps hugely. Employ the tools you have available to make your life easier and get rid of that clutter. Because having less emails when you open up your inbox will help you a ton, even if they're just emails that you'd go through and delete anyway. Mentally, when you see less emails, you feel less stressed. So do yourself that favor. Please leave a comment and let me know how it goes. I really look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing if these tips help. And, as always, please do subscribe if you find this helpful. I have more coming. See you next time.